There's a LUO tradition, a funeral tradition called TERO BURU. I'm not an expert in LUO traditions, but it has to do with the funeral of somebody, an elder of a certain age and above. It is a honorary ceremony for a person who has died. It is something to do with scaring away evil spirits. And people come, and what they do is that warriors come with the shield and spears and shout, scaring away the evil spirits. Now, if I'll talk of modernization of our funerals. If someone has died in out of the place, now he's been taken to his home. Before he enters the compound, usually people come with kettle, come with warriors with spears and arrows, with the shields and spears. They shout, scaring away the devil. And I'm talking of modernized tradition because it in the previous days, people, you cannot imagine of say a Luo dying in Nairobi, Mombasa, or even out of the country. So nowadays, that what has happened, what they have modernized, is that when that Luo elder comes, as the vehicle reaches the compound, before it reaches the gate, it is met by a crowd of people with cows and warriors, and they come scaring away the evil spirit, and they come saying, Joey, Joey. I Maybe a Luo can tell us why they associate that with buffalo. Of course, buffalo is an animal that people fear it. It is placed on the when it comes to fearing buffaloes, we place them on the same level, the same category with things like cheetahs and lions and leopards. So during such occasions, uh, people scare evil spirits while chanting Joey, Joey. That is saying buffalo, buffalo, buffalo. They scare away using the word buffalo, buffalo, buffalo. Before I go to the story, which to me it's a tragic comedy, I'll also make a joke here that somebody died and Raila was also performing that. So he had a spear and he had a shield. So he went around shouting, Joey, 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 uh, which in Luo is buffalo, buffalo, buffalo. That is the Luo tradition, and Raila is a Luo. So around the same time, we had this story of Joey, Joey who killed, who had a case about killing of a lady in Kilimani area. So on the day that Raila performed that saying, Joey, 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 that same day, the following day, Joey was released because of killing of a lady. I think the lady was called Monica. And then there was another lady who was a newscaster. So that is how it was. People joked that when he was saying Joey, Joey, he meant that Joey Irungu should be released. But in reality, is that Joey in Luo is a buffalo. Now, as I've said, that I've only had one example where I have seen TERO BURU happening in Luo land uh, during my lifetime, and it was so scary. As I said, that people, warriors, and are accompanied by livestock, and then they go and meet the vehicle that is carrying both the coffin and the widow. And according to the modern Luo tradition, because it used not to be, those days there used to be no vehicle. When they reach at a place near the home, the vehicle is stopped and the widow comes out weeping and joins those warriors. So they do that, and it is scary, to say the least. It is scary, uh, uh, and and and, and also comical, because when those people are going around, you can see it's like their eyes are open. It's as if they are looking for an enemy, who a seen enemy, and then they will do that, Joey, whatever, whatever, and then welcome the vehicle carrying the coffin into the compound. That is what happens. Now, to tell you what had happened to me in that time, there was somebody, a prominent person in Luo land, who had died. Those days I had a camera, video camera, which was Panasonic 3200. Now this Panasonic 3200, in size but not technology, it's like those TV cameras that are used by, it's like those TV cameras that are used by WWE at the ring. You find them, they are heavy and they're carried over the shoulder. So I had such a camera. I went to a place where this Luo fellow had died, and asked if they could hire me to cover that funeral. And they accepted and hired me. And then they turned to me and asked me if I knew anybody with a good minibus, anybody with a minibus, good minibus who we could go to Luo Nyanza with. Minibus the size of city hoppers. So I went and looked for a certain Kikuyu who had a minibus, and I forwarded him to the funeral committee, and he was hired. His matatu was hired. But then from the time when we used to, you know, when you are hired, you just don't disappear. This minibus fellow, his minibus had to be taken for thorough checkup and whatever. So we found ourselves 2 to 3 days before the funeral, that we found ourselves all the time in the home. But there was tension in the home. This fellow was a very senior person, a businessman. So he had, he was an engineer with the Ministry of Works, and he had an engineering company. So what he used to do was, he would, in his capacity as an engineer in the Ministry of Works, he would give the company, which him and his wife were directors, he would give that company a contract to repair a road from point A to point B. So being an engineer, a chief engineer in the Ministry of Works, at the same time having an engineer, he was a very rich person. And so what had happened is that his brothers had come. And they were inquiring from the widow. They were inquiring from the widow what is the sickness that our brother had. One thing I noticed, and which I was not happy, is, why should you be so concerned about somebody who is dead, and all the time he was sick and so on, you did not even appear? But anyway, they were inquiring from the widow, when did he become sick, when did he whatever, ABCD, and she was telling them. Then it reached a time she was asked, which hospital did you take him to? She said, Aga Khan. They changed their faces. Chief Engineer, Ministry of Works, taking him, and he has a very big construction company, and you take him to Aga Khan Hospital. And from where we stay, you bypassed Nairobi Hospital and went to Aga Khan. Why didn't you take him to Nairobi Hospital? A person of his. So there was that tension, and I don't understand Luo. I don't understand Luo, but I had to call somebody aside and ask what was happening, because the tension, you could feel it, but you could not understand what they were talking. So that it was translated to me aside about the tension between the widow and her in-laws, the brothers to the deceased. So the conclusion by the brothers was that the deceased would have gone to a better hospital, Nairobi Hospital, and he would not have died. So they was even asking the lady, now that you've done what you did, how much money have you saved and such things. That there was that tension, and I happened to call the Nissan fellow, the minibus fellow, not the Nissan fellow, the minibus fellow, and told him, tipped him on what was happening. That there is tension here, and I told him everything. So carry though, be on standby. We continued well. It reached a time when, even the time when he was taken to church for the funeral services, I covered that. Then from there, we went all the place to Luo Nyanza. As we were approaching the place, I've never been there. I've only been there for that one occasion. I had never been there, and even after that, I've never gone back. So I told those people whom we were seated in the front with the driver, with the minibus owner. I told them that I wanted to have a good shot of the homestead as we approach the homestead. So I told them a kilometer or so to the funeral place, they should tell the driver to stop the vehicle so that I go to board to be on the carrier up there, so that I record as we approach the homestead. We went and reached a place where where we stopped, and when we stopped, they told the driver now to drive slowly because somebody was hanging precariously on top, and also we were approaching the home. So I started recording. Then suddenly in front of us, there came a crowd in a line. If you have seen people in a campaign mood coming, or in a demonstration mood or something like that, there is that the front line is like a line, and they're coming, shouting and whatever. They had cattle, they had whatever, and I was shooting. So from where I was up there and where the driver was, we thought of something simultaneously. On my part, I remembered the tension which was in Nairobi, that the brothers are blaming the widow for killing the husband. At the same time, the minibus driver also thought the same. And these people are coming, spears and whatever. I just hope you go to a video and check on TERO BURU. So we thought that we were being attacked because the lady may have killed her husband. The driver, the vehicle was going slowly. So the driver opened the door of the vehicle and dashed out. So here was the vehicle, city hopper like, was going slowly towards the charging crowd. You can call it charging crowd. So the vehicle was going slowly towards as if we were approaching a charging crowd. Now the driver had escaped, and I was up there sweating and trembling. Imagine, you cannot jump, you cannot do anything, and you already know that the vehicle has no person there. So lucky enough, among the mourners, there's somebody who had an experience in a vehicle. He went and entered into the driver's place and started taking it slowly. And the funny thing is that when we approached those people just a few, 10 meters before them. The widow alighted from the moving vehicle, went weeping, wailing, going towards those people were shouting, Joey, Joey. The whole thing was that when later I came to understand, it was such a funny thing, but we got the scare of our life.